Am I loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. My respect to our kind public schools district supervisor of Mahayag South District, Ma'am Arceli B. Alonso, and to our division SMME and SEPS, Sir Jong Antikina, to the brilliant school administrators, post elementary and secondary schools, to the very capable school ICT coordinators and information officers, and to the rest of the teaching and non-teaching personnel of Mahayag South District, a very pleasant morning to you all. Before I proceed, let me first greet my very good friend Maring Bibet a very happy birthday. It's her birthday today. Okay. Kanang, please, kamo na lang ang present sa akong slides kay murag naglisod ko.
Thank you, Marang.
Thank you. That was Sunday evening when she called me and requested me to speak to you this morning. At first, I was hesitant. I said no because I am not that good in this one speaking, especially through this platform. But anyway, because of work, dili kita mo balipad. So let us do this. I will proceed. Before going any further, let me say thank you to Ma'am Glenda May Julianti Bonsobri, Masters in Nursing, our colleague, a nurse too, at the same time, our school's division office focal person on this PowerPoint presentation that I will be using. The topic that I am tasked to this morning is the overview of the national deployment and vaccination.
Mute.
No sound to be heard, sir.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay ba, ma'am?
Okay now, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So the topic that I'm going to present to you this morning is about the overview of the National Deployment and Vaccination Plan, or the NDVP. Wala. Guys, help. No, na-stop lagi. Nansa naman na.
Nawala, ikaw ni Yoyo?
Oh,
Nawala ka?
amot napalong.
Hello, ma'am. You can be heard, ma'am, but the slide shows the objectives, ma'am.
Okay, kajut sa ma'am ha.
Okay, ma'am. Take your time. Thank you.
Maring. Dili mo run.
Saan kita nila may?
Unsay nakita nimo diha?
Hello, ma'am. In the slides, ma'am, it's the objectives.
Yo, kamo na mo run sa slide, Mareng. Hello. Kamo. Okay. Kajut sa nawala ko no. Pero madunggan ko nimo while ito karon.
Ma'am, you are loud and clear, ma'am, but the slides shown here is still about the objectives.
Okay, ma'am. For a while, ha? Kay lahi tag slides. Lahi ang ako ang nag-open man ni Ray. Okay, I will be presenting my slides na lang. Nakita ninyo?
Still the objectives, ma'am, being seen.
Budget lang. Sila na lang, day. How about that, ma'am?
No slides to be seen. Okay, that's okay already, ma'am, but it needs to be in full screen.
Okay, how about that one?
That's already okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
NDVP priority groups. Is that right, ma'am? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. The objectives has already been presented by Ma'am Ruby, so I will proceed to the next slide. So this is our priority groups for our NDVP. For the A1 group are our health workers, our medical frontliners, our nurses, doctors, be it in the government and public sectors, and even teachers who are nurses also, teachers who are dentists, midwives, laboratory technicians. If you want to enlist yourselves in the A1 category, pwede ra gyud gihapon. So, at this time, kung nag-enlist mo for A4 and then open man atong A1 and you have already decided to get the vaccine and then dili pa open ang A4, you can have yourselves enlist to A1 as health workers. And then for the priority groups A2, we have our senior citizens. They are our group who are 60 years old and above. For the A3 category, they are our individuals with comorbidities. Anybody 59 years old and below who have health problems like hypertension, diabetes, hyperthyroidism, cancer, or unsa pa nga health problem nato. For the A4 category, these are our essential frontline workers who do not belong to A2 and A3, in which most of our teaching and non-teaching personnel sa DepEd na belong sa A4. The next slide. Let me share to you this DepEd Memorandum Number 28, Series 2021, dated May 25. The comprehensive guidance on the participation of the Department of Education in the implementation of the Philippine National Deployment and Vaccination Plan, or NDVP. It states that in Section 5, however, on April 15, 2021, the IATF has identified frontline personnel in the basic education and higher education institutions and agencies as part of the priority group A4. IATF Resolution Number 110, Series 2021, thereby adjusting the prioritization of teachers from B1 to A4. If you can still remember, so during the panato early times of our vaccination program, ang atong department dito kita sa B1. But nakita sa government that kuan kita kanang need kita to be also part of the katong first line nga mga need i-vaccinate. So the gawas ni nga IATF resolution that the Department of Education, teaching and non-teaching personnel belong now to priority group A4. So what are our DepEd principles? Number one is commitment to the DepEd mandate. Of course, we are in the DepEd umbrella. What is mandated to us by our department, we are obliged to follow. So we should committed to the DepEd mandate. Another is commitment to the truth. As educators, we should be spreaders of what is true. We will correct, we will stop if ever kanang is ang information nga mas spread is not true, no? Whatever is true, we should help nga ma-disseminate na. And how will we know if those informations are true? In fact, during our cascading sa atong national level and region and the division level, we were informed and we were being guided by the mga websites nga atong makita nga to be true. One of them are our CDC, the Center for Disease
Wala na dire
Control.
kwan, ingon sila sa backslash.
Then our World Health Organization, our turn off ang phone. O ang mic kay murag gakarat. Okay, thank you. And then another source would be kung makita ninyo .edu, meaning this website comes from colleges and schools in the US nga nag-study on vaccination. No, kani pong .org, this is a non-profit organization and this can be used by anyone. So since anyone can use this .org nga mga sites, so we should be careful kay baka ang uban money-making lang, ang uban mga anti-vaxxers lang gyud. So careful ta on asa ta nga site magkuha sa atong information in which ato pong i-share sa uban. Then commitment to health and safety. During our modular classes, our school-based feeding program, other activities sa school, we always try to implement and sustain the health and safety programs of our department na ata anang DepEd order. And then commitment to the promotion of informed decisions. As educators, those colleagues nato, friends, relatives, and the whole community, our parents, kung wala pa sila sakto nga information on the vaccination program about the vaccine itself. So it is also our duty nga to help them, give them the right information so that they can also make their own decision. We will not be forcing them. We will not be kanang forcing anybody for our vaccination program kay wala pa gyud tay balaod nga ipa-enforce gyud nga i-force gyud ang individual. But we will try our very best to send true and correct informations to everyone so that they can also make their decisions. And then our roles of DepEd. We are recipients of the vaccines, of course. There are already DepEd personnel who have already received their vaccines, already completed. Then we can also be members of the VOC, or the Vaccine Operation Center. As nurses, we don't know kung the vaccination will be given, will be rolled out to the population na. We do not know if our services, the health personnel of our department would be requested by our LGU. So we can also take part on that activity. Another For instance, our ICT coordinators, no? We do not know also pag sa whole population na daghan na ang data nga need i-encode. So we can also be requested to help in our LGU for the encoding sa atong mga documents. And we should also be champions of advocacy. So we should be advocating what is true about our vaccination program in support to our government. Next, let me share to you the status of vaccination as of July 23, 2021. July 23 pag yun ni kay this is the status sa whole province of Zamboanga del Sur, no? Sa ato ang vaccination status. For the A1, we have already vaccinated 26.9, A2 58.1%, A3 50.2%, and A4 5.5%. Okay, ang A4, there are only few municipalities nga nag-start sa rollout sa A4. The rest of the municipalities, ang priority good are the A1, A2, and A3 because nga nung i-priority ni sila, A1 are our health workers, they are exposed to, ang risk of getting COVID is very high. For our A2, based on science and evidence, our senior citizens, once ma-infect sa COVID, the risk of kanang death, no, mortality rate is high also. Also our A3. So, ang A4 is generally the healthy population. So, mo nang dugay-dugay na roll out sa ilaha. And then, so, ang kaning yellow nakuha og yellow, mauni ang naka-shaded og yellow, mauni ang atong group of people who have already registered themselves, enlisted themselves for the vaccination, but has not gone to the vaccination site yet. Maybe sa atong A1, we have pregnant women, or maybe due to health problems for our A2, A3, and A4, no? And then for this red na shaded na candidate, these are the group who have not decided yet, who have not enlisted themselves yet, or they are hesitant to the vaccination program. But remember that data is as of July 23 na this because as we have said, this is Ma'am Glenda May Bunso presentation, and she is our focal potentiality kung unsa na atong status karon. Video very carefully para we will know something kung unsa ang characteristics sa virus.
On November 5th, 2020, the United Kingdom went into lockdown. They were trying to control a spike in COVID-19 cases. And if you look at the chart of cases, it seemed to work. But despite having the same lockdown measures, infections in Kent, an area outside of London, were still rising. In early December, the overall drop in cases led the country to relax restrictions anyway. And then, this happened. It wasn't until around this time that researchers realized that somewhere in Kent, the virus itself had changed. It was a new variant. It was more contagious, and it was spreading. By the time scientists gave it a name, it had spread to most of southeast England. 2 months later, it was in 30 other countries. 5 months later, it was the most common form of the virus found in the United States. Lately, more and more variants are emerging in various places around the world. So, why are they showing up now? And what does this mean for the pandemic? Viruses are very simple. They're basically just a shell of proteins surrounding some genetic material, either DNA or RNA. That genetic material is made up of molecules that can be represented as a series of letters, like this. Each part of this code contains instructions for how to make one specific protein that allows the virus to function. The virus has one goal, to make more of itself. But because it's so simple, it can't do that on its own. So it uses you. Every time a virus infects a person, it uses their cells to make copies of itself, replicating this complex code again and again and again. But eventually, it makes a mistake. Sometimes it deletes or adds a letter, sometimes it flips them around. That mistake is called a mutation, and it slightly changes the instructions for making the virus. That slightly altered virus is a variant. Since viruses are constantly going through this copying process, it's normal for them to change over time. For example, this chart shows some of the mutations the SARS-CoV-2 virus has made since December of 2019. Most of the time, these mutations are harmless, or even make the virus weaker, and then quietly disappear without making any notable difference. But other times, a series of mutations occur that give the virus a slight edge over us, which is what scientists started to notice with SARS-CoV-2 back in September of 2020.
You're seeing specific mutations that do allow the virus to bind human receptors better and enter cells better.
Coronaviruses are covered in spike proteins that they use to bind with and infect human cells. The thing is, that binding isn't a perfect fit, so it doesn't always get past the cell's defenses. But the B117 variant, which scientists later renamed the alpha variant, has multiple mutations on the spike protein. Mutations that make it easier for the virus to bind with cells, which can help make the virus more transmissible, which led it.
Hello po, ma'am. Nawala yung sound, ma'am. Hello, Ma'am Ruth. Nawala yung sound. Hello, Ma'am Ruth. Hindi kami makarinig, ma'am. Nawala yung sound.
May video, no? Sa ha, kajol. Sige lang mare kay gialalayan pa ko dire. Or unsa man di na lang ta mag-video. Ato na lang escape. I-try nato karon then kung i-try lang nato. Sige. Sa nagkuhan pa si kana. Dapat lang mare, tapos lang ang nana ka video.
On November 5th, 2020, the United Kingdom went into lockdown. It would reduce the spike in COVID-19 cases. If you look at the chart, it seemed to work. Under the same lockdown measures, infections in Kent, an area outside of London, were still in December, cases led to countries to relax restrictions anyway. And then this happened. It wasn't until around this time that researchers realized that somewhere in Kent, the virus itself had changed. It was a new variant. It was more contagious, and it was spreading. It had spread to most of Southeast England. It was in 30 other countries. 5 months later, it was the most common form of the virus found in the United States. Lately, more and more variants are emerging in various places around the world. So, why are they showing up now? And what does this mean for the pandemic? Viruses are very simple. They're basically just a shell of proteins surrounding some genetic material. DNA or is made up of molecules that can be represented.
Picture ko palberon kung isend sa group chat.
Na mic.
Nya na kay nya lang na anay daghang ko ano. Kaya kung isend ba ang attendance.
Ma'am, naay nakauna mic.
Ate ka dito. Madungog ko.
Hello, Ma'am Elenita Palma. Please turn off your mic. Thanks.
Iyo pa kay madugay.
Over time. For example, this chart shows some of the mutations the SARS-CoV-2 virus has made since December of 2019. Most of the time, these mutations are harmless, or even make the virus weaker, and they quietly disappear without making any notable difference. But other times, a series of mutations occur that give the virus a slight edge over us, which is what scientists started to notice with SARS-CoV-2 back in September of 2020.
You're seeing specific mutations that do allow the virus to bind human receptors better and enter cells better.
Coronaviruses are covered in spike proteins that they use to bind with and infect human cells. The thing is that binding isn't a perfect fit, so it doesn't always get past the cell's defenses. But the B117 variant, which scientists later renamed the alpha variant, has multiple mutations on the spike protein. Mutations that make it easier for the virus to bind with cells, which can help make the virus more transmissible, which led it to become a dominant strain in many places around the world. But if SARS-CoV-2 has been mutating all along, why do the variants today, like this alpha variant, suddenly seem so much worse? It's important to remember that a virus doesn't make active decisions. Mutations are random errors. But the longer a virus is around and the more people it infects, the more it will change. And the more those changes accumulate, it will evolve into something more dangerous. These four variants organization all mutations on the spike protein. Delta, the most recent addition to this list, has been referred to as a double mutant because while it has many different mutations, it has two significant ones we've seen before. This mutation seems to make the virus more transmissible. And a version of this one, found in two other variants, makes it easier for the virus to reinfect people who have already had COVID-19. Meaning these
Ma'am Ruth, nawala yung video, ma'am. Hello, Ma'am Ruth. Nawala yung video, ma'am. At walang sound. Hello, participants. Just bear with us because we are experiencing maybe for the signal. We will have to wait patiently. Thank you.
Okay ka na?
There's
na?
already a sound, ma'am, but there's no slide to be seen, or the video cannot be seen still.
Okay, ma'am. I have been removed from the group. So, moding nawala ko. Pero karon okay na.
Yes, ma'am, the sound is so clear, but the video is not yet, not to be seen yet, ma'am.
How about that slide, ma'am? Basin loading pa. Okay na.
Okay, no slide yet, ma'am. I cannot see the slide yet, Ma'am Rose.
Sige lang. Sadya.
They will have to wait it, Ma'am Rose. Take your time, ma'am.
Sa akong tapat. My best buddy when it comes to like this. Adjust na rin. Kana! Load lang tagamay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye sa. Okay, let me go back to the video lang gamay ha. Atong paon ang meat, ato ang substance of the video. That was early sa 2021 nga 2020 the researchers or our scientists have noticed a difference sa virus or sa variant, no? So naka-notice sila nga, uy, lahi naman po ni. So they were kanang suspecting a mutation and then maybe another variant na po. And that was it. They call it the alpha variant. Now, we will discuss about the characteristics of the virus. The video is telling us that the virus is just so simple. It is just made up of protein and its genetic material, katong mga DNA, RNA nga represent katong mga codes or letters. And those codes mo to'y ga-help that the virus can function. Now, the main goal of the virus is to make more of itself, more replicate siya, padaghan siya. But it cannot do it alone. It has to be bind with kaning human cells. So kinahanglan mo enter siya sa atong body and makikombine siya sa atong cells to make more of itself. Now, more siya at first it would be very hard for the virus katong una na to nga mga SARS-CoV-2 virus, be very hard for them to fit in sa itong human cells. But this kaning na identify by our scientists nga murag delikado gyud, like the alpha, beta, gamma, kana sila kaning lambda, kani sila nga mga virus karon nga nagpabilin, they are the strong and kanang mas delikado na nga virus. Now, once dali sila muhok sa human cell, okay, dali makamba sa ilahang kaugalingon. But when sa ang katong codes ma-alter as demultiply, so it's either it will delete a letter or it will mix, ma-interchange or mag-add. So kung katong nag-add sila na utro iyang functions, that is what we call mutations, and then giving us another variant. So dahil kung more ang transmissions, more people get infected, more chances of mutations, so there will be more variants. According to the study, ang mutations, ang variants are mostly mild, weak, and will disappear lang yun. Daghan ang mutations, pero mild lang sila, mamatay lang sila in their own way. But there are also variants that are strong and harmful. Mauni karon ang atong na-identify nga kuan na ta, na shaken na ta, no? Delta, gamma, alpha, beta, napay lambda, and all. So how will we end this mutation? How will we end this pandemic, no? So first of all, we should stop the virus, we should stop the transmission and its kanang replication by being vaccinated. That does not mean na totally must stop if you are vaccinated. At least we are kanang going to the end of this pandemic. Kay our minimum health standards, or even we can call them the maximum, we will be doing the maximum health standards. Dili gid siya enough nga ma-stop, ma-contain in a way, pero dili gid siya ka-stop sa atong pandemic. History tells us na the polio sa atong kuan nato sa una, ato ang fight against polio, measles and other diseases, nag-vaccine gyud ta. Same is true with our pandemic karon. So, according to the scientists, we at this moment in time, we still have the edge over the virus. Why? Because our vaccines are still working, are still effective. And then we will not wait kung ang virus na na-edge over us. Baka mag-mutate siya, mas ma-wilder siya, mas harmful siya, then our vaccines will not be efficacious enough, no, to protect us. Now, remember, ang vaccine is like kanang sa rider, we will be wearing our helmet, our knee pads, no, to protect ourselves while magbike ta or magmotor ta. Mao po na ang atong vaccine. It does not mean nga when you are wearing your helmet, your other gear, dili na ka maka-crash, dili na ka ma-injured, dili na ka mamatay. But at least if you are wearing your gear, even according to the studies, if you are wearing your helmet, katog yung helmet na sakto dito mga substandard, you are saving 50% of your life. So same true with the vaccine. If we are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and we are practicing minimum health standards, so most likely, dili gyud ta ma-infect, no? Or if ma-infect man, dili ra gyud ma-severe ang ato ang case sa COVID-19. So, ang atong problem now is our vaccine is limited. So, it's a worldwide problem. Mao na ang other rich countries, daghan na sila og immunization, taas na sila kanang rate sa ilang immunization, pero kita di gamay pa kaayo. So another problem is hesitancy to the vaccine and its program. Then disinformation also. Perti kay ta spreaders kay ta og mga news, no? Dili gid nato nahibalan kung legit ba or true. So ang advice is we will get the vaccine whatever it is available. No, better to have a lethal protection than nothing at all. So let me proceed. These are some of the reasons that we have identified why people refuse or hesitate to be vaccinated. Number one is it is advised by a health officer. Of course, kalabi na itong mga with comorbidities, no, severe nga mga cases. They have to seek medical clearance first from their attending physicians. And if they are not allowed to be vaccinated, that is one reason that dili gid sila ma-vaccinate. Another is some people believe that vaccines do not work. So, gusto kung if we are looking for katong 100% protection, wala gyud vaccine maghatag natong 100% protection. No, kay kita naminaw man kita og news. Pero they are giving us or promising us kanang less ang mild ang symptoms, or we cannot be hospitalized, we can stay home, no, magpauli lang ta sa balay. But kung ingon ta og full protection, wala gid na vaccine nga naghimo ana. So, other people believe that vaccines do not work. Another is afraid of the side effects and afraid of injections. Side effects are temporary. And injections, kasalang man if you get the single dose vaccine or twice the most. Pero remember, if you will be hospitalized, daghan pa ang injections to ang matagamtaman. So ato silang ipahupay sa anang nga truth para they can have themselves vaccinated. Another, waiting for the vaccine brands to be offered by the LGUs. It is your right. It is our right man pod kay kabalo ko nag-study po ta, naminaw po tag mga sources. Pero what if that brand na imong giulat will not be coming? No, kay as we have said, kato mga limited ra gid kay atong mga vaccine available sa ato ang nasod. So get the slot kung unsay na and at least a little protection than nothing at all. And then, so another video, I don't know kung itry lang nato, pero dili mo play, si Ma'am Ruby na mo share ani ninyo diha.
Developing a vaccine is a long road full of checkpoints. Different phases of testing are designed to make sure it is both effective and safe. But with the whole world struggling to contain a pandemic and unprecedented amounts of scientific work taking place, the road to finding the COVID-19 vaccine looks more like this. But first, let's take a look at the usual path. During preclinical trials, the vaccine is tested on animals to determine whether they develop antibodies to the disease-causing germ. If these trials are successful, the candidate vaccine moves on to phase 1 trials in humans, during which the vaccine is given to a small number of healthy adults to assess its safety in humans. The results of every phase are reviewed by independent clinical experts who assess the research team's findings. Sometimes they'll pause the trials to check the results, always making sure the candidate vaccine is safe. The next phase involves testing a larger group of people to find out the appropriate dose, whether it stimulates an immune response, and of course, to assess its safety. Once the results have been checked by the independent expert observers, the candidate vaccine is evaluated among thousands more volunteers. This phase determines whether it's effective against disease. If the answer is yes, the vaccine is independently assessed by regulators for effectiveness, safety, and manufacturing quality. It is also assessed by independent policymakers who determine the best way to use the vaccine. If the assessment meets the regulatory standards, the product can be authorized for use, and the vaccine is then ready for licensing and registration. Once that happens, the approved vaccine can be used in the population. But because of the urgent need for a COVID-19 vaccine, some of the phases can run in parallel, and the research team can submit a request for temporary authorization from national regulatory authorities and an emergency use listing from WHO. This authorization and WHO emergency listing are only given if the vaccine meets strict safety and effectiveness criteria. But the road doesn't stop there. Once the vaccine is in use, it continues to be monitored by health authorities for safety and for effectiveness to ensure the vaccine maintains the highest standards. The race is on to find vaccines for COVID-19, which is why some phases are happening at the same time. But no one is cutting corners. Everyone is subject to the same checks and independent monitoring. So although we'll get the COVID-19 vaccines faster, they'll be as safe as other approved vaccines.
Okay, thank you. So the video shows us how our COVID-19 vaccines are made and why are we using them now. No, they are telling us that the vaccines have kanang sanigi properly and thoroughly studied. It has underwent the process of the clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And they are making sure that the vaccines are safe and meet the safety and effectiveness criteria. So that's it about our COVID-19 vaccine. So let me proceed. The best vaccine right for you is the one that you are offered. With each shot that goes into someone's arm, we get closer to the end of this pandemic. So our goal for the vaccination program, our number one goal would be no more infection, no more death, no more hospitalization, no more severe symptoms or moderate symptoms, and of course, ma-end na gyud, no more symptoms of COVID-19. So how will we get this goal? We have to be vaccinated. So the next is the common side effects of our vaccination. No? So one is the pain at the injection site, redness at the injection site. Kung painful yun kaayo, pwede we can take paracetamol tablet, no, every 6 hours. Gawas kung mag-fever gyud, every 4 hours ang atong paracetamol. Then pwede nato butangan og cold compress sa injection site. Then swelling, and then tiredness. Ang uban kapoy, headache, muscle pains, fever, chills, nausea, kasukaon, and sleepiness, diarrhea. So, mo to ang atong most common na mga side effects sa atong vaccines. So, another video. Okay, the video is telling us a family, no, nga, at first they were visited by the health worker, and only the grandmother went with the health worker to get the vaccine. And when she gets home, murag na siya information dissemination, telling them nga, like the polio, measles, tetanus, and other kuan, nga need gyud og vaccination. So nakasabot iyang family, so everyone gets the job. So the next is another video.
Oh, hey! Free medicine! Cool.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold your horses!
Who are you?
I'm a vaccine, if you know what I mean.
Do you work?
That remains to be seen. The scientists teamed up with some virus detectives, and we could wipe out COVID if I'm safe and effective. But before they know, we will still have to show that I work so safely.
So you could cure COVID?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Vaccines aren't cures, kid. You give us to help people before they get sick, and we teach their immune system how to fight the virus on its own.
So what are you waiting for? Let's do it!
Slow down. First, I gotta be tested in a lab. Then I'm tested in humans in 3 different phases, each with more and more people. Each one can take months or even years to finish. If they see I work and I'm safe after the 3rd phase and the FDA says I'm ready, only then do I go to market. If not, well, fortunately, there are dozens of other vaccines being tested too.
And then we can get rid of coronavirus?
Not so fast. They've still got to mass produce me on a huge scale, and people have to be willing to take me. Until then, don't forget to keep that mask on, and good luck with your skateboarding.
Thanks. Good luck ending the global pandemic.
I'm a vaccine, and you won't believe, but I'm just completed phase 3, so maybe someday soon, when the factories can make me, and lots of people have a chance to take me, then maybe we'll see humanity reach herd immunity.
So that ends the video. Okay. In conclusion, let us get the vaccine once it is available. We will not give the virus the time and chance to replicate and mutate, and might give us variants that will have an edge over us. And after being vaccinated, dili lang pud ta magsalig na we are already vaccinated, we will still practice the minimum health standards by washing our hands regularly, keeping a distance from each other of at least a meter, always wear mask, and let us boost our immune system. So that would be all. Thank you so much for the time, and God bless us all.
Okay, thank you so much, Mom Miran Ruth T. Luren. You never failed us, Mom, even though you have hesitations at first to be our speaker. So it is very clear now that uh, to what category do we belong? A1, A2, A3, or A4? And then we'll keep on praying that the virus will not become wilder and wilder so that the virus cannot defeat us with the vaccine. Thank you so much, Ma'am. And let's now move on to the open forum. So this time, you are given time to express your opinions, to voice concerns and ask questions. And our facilitator is willing to answer all of those. Thank you. You can turn on your microphone or you have to raise your hand so that you'll be acknowledged if you have questions or queries or your opinion. Thank you. Mommy Ran Ruth is waiting for all your questions or queries. Please raise it now so that you'll be answered right away. Since nobody raises questions or queries, so we'll now proceed to the next speaker. At this point,
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. Mo-off na ko.
okay, Ma'am, thank you for the time. Bye.
Okay,
Stay
bye-bye.
safe and healthy. God bless.
Yes, to you all. God bless.
Okay, at this point, we have another speaker or another facilitator to teach us and understand deeper about self-reporting for COVID-19 vaccination tracker. I give you Sir Mario S. Bagood, a teacher 3 from D1 Elementary School and our district ICT coordinator. Take it away, Sir Mario. Excuse me, sir, there's no sound.
My salute, my salute to our public schools district supervisor, RC Boer Alonso, to the program owner of this orientation, Nurse 2, Ruby I. Calzada. Program Committee Team Members, Division ICT Support Team, Sir Randy Abunas of San Jose National High School, and School ICT Coordinator of DCM National High School, Ma'am Claire L. Lagrosa, 17 school heads of Mahayag South District, elementary and secondary teachers, good morning. It is a great privilege to discuss to all of you as your district ICT coordinator for this district orientation on self-reporting for COVID-19 vaccination tracker. For our objective this morning, first, to navigate the self-reporting tracker via DepEd mobile app. Second, to sign in successfully the self-reporting tracker. And the last one, to provide accurate data on vaccination. Step number 1. First, download the DepEd mobile app via Google Play, Android, and App Store iOS search box. So this is the DepEd mobile apps, the logo. So you download that one through Google Play or Play Store, or you can search this QR code. Second step, install the app. So you have to install, as you can see on the picture. Wait for the installation process. After installation, for the third step, once installed, click open. Wait until the DepEd mobile app's dashboard displays. Fourth step, once the app displays, click sign in with Google DepEd Commons or go to this link for quick access and account confirmation. So in signing with DepEd Commons, you have to use your Office 365 account. A dialog box appears with network service free of charge. So you should click OK. For step number 5, click OK to continue. Login your credentials are required. Scroll down for more options for your email address and your password. But wait, there are step 6. If you have no Google, no R9 account or Office 365 account, you can click choose sign in with Google. For step number 7, choose your sign in account or Google account, preferably DepEd account. Like this account for Sir Lito Bahian with DepEd.gov.ph after your name. Number 8 step, you have a dialog box appear with MEPP or MAP. So mobile application privacy policy. You should agree. Click agree. For step number 9, click I agree to continue. Step number 10, a home page of the DepEd mobile app is being displayed after successful installation with input verified credential account. So you have to click surveys, trackers, or view now. Click that one, dahil the color red. So for user profile update, on the first time access, the user must review personal details and follow the instructions. With school affiliation, take I belong to a school if user has school affiliation. Then continue to select school by inputting the 6-digit school ID. Without affiliation, tap school as select region and choose region sign in. If a user is a division personnel, or continue to select division assign in. So in our case, we are all school. We belong to school, to a school. So click with school affiliation or use that one. No need to sign in without school affiliation. So when done, click update. Accessing the self-reporting tracker. First, accept the app's privacy policy by clicking I agree. Number 2, go to surveys trackers by clicking view now. Third, tap or select self-reporting for COVID-19 vaccination. Okay? Answering the self-reporting trackers, we have our reminders. Number 1, your account, once logged in, is tied only to your information. Do not log in with your email address and input other people's data. What do you mean by this? So this is one email for one data. Not the same with in our surveys or katong mga evaluation nga mo gamit ang usa ka teacher same cellphone or gadget yang gamiton with many, no? Pwede mo gamit aghan. But in this case, only one, or do not log in with your email address and input other people's data. So number 2, reminder, questions marked with asterisk are required to be answered because it will not continue if you will not answer that questions with asterisk. Number 3, please follow suggested answer format if indicated. Please be reminded on that. Answering the self-reporting tracker. So here are the examples. As you can see, the first name, the last name, the middle initial, then the suffix, for example, there. No, Glinda May, comma, Bonsobre, comma, then the initial D. Then the age, the designation, then the teaching or non-teaching personnel, you click there. So if you have vaccinated or have you registered for COVID-19 vaccination? So click yes. If no, please proceed to question number 9. So if you are vaccinated or if you are registered, so number 2, what priority group did you register? So click there. So for A1, medical frontliners, A2, senior citizen, A3, persons with comorbidities, and A4, essential frontline workers, example, the government employees or teachers. So have you registered for COVID-19? So this question, you just click take yes or no. Again, your priority group registration under select options. Then what brand? So this in case you have already vaccinated. But kung wala pa, you go to question number 9. So for this slide, when did you receive your first dose? So na-date diha, you indicate the date. So when did you receive your second dose also? Then number 6, if you have already received your second dose, upload a photo of your COVID-19 vaccination card. So na-accept, ipa-upload. So click or add photos. So we have an example of vaccination card. So saan man siya pagtrabaho? So we use your cell phone, you picture it, capture as an image, then you can add photos. The same on that example. Sir, kung nawala ang vaccination card, so murag imposible mawala ang vaccination card. It is on reminder from the health personnel, no? that you have this vaccination card along with you. Next, for number 7, in this reporting for self-reporting, what adverse reaction, if any, did you experience? So, click as many kung naaman gani. Next, number 8, do you have any allergies? Click there, yes, choose yes or no. Then number 9, have all the people in your household been vaccinated? So, click no or yes. Choose, no? Kamu rin na kahibalo anak. So, proceed to number 10. If you did not register for vaccination, what is your primary reason? So, specify other reasons for not registering for vaccination here. So, after question number 10, you may submit it. For review and submission, when done answering, click submit. The review answers pop-up screen appears. If no required field is missed, so scroll down and click proceed to completely submit the form. Number 2, unable to submit form shows if users fail or if user fails to answer one or more required questions. If this alert shows, click back to survey and answer the questions marked with this field is required. Number 3, log back into the app anytime and update the self-reporting COVID-19 vaccination tracker. If there is any change on users' COVID-19 vaccination status, such as indication of registration, schedule of doses, adverse reaction, experience, or any other related updates. In my case, I have not yet received my vaccination, so I inputted the data katong nag-required nga pwede siya mabutangan, but pwede rin maputos na mabalikan in this review and submission, no? You can update that one, pwede balikan. You just click on update. Is submission status. A form is designated, designed to monitor DepEd personnel on their COVID-19 vaccination. The form can be updated anytime, and saves it anytime. So once it is completed, so nani na makita, completed will be seen in your app. But okay, pwede naman mag-submit, wala pa nahuman sa imong second dose, pwede mo balikan siya. Then after all has been done, nahuman na tanan, so your apps will be seen as completed already. Application in your cell phone, you have to, there is a need in response, so the possibility that it has not been completed. So, then after all the data has been inputted by you, so there is a complete or completed self-reporting tracker will be put in your application. So anyway, you have your school ICT coordinator or any other personnel that can help you in this self-reporting. So I think that's all. But before I disperse, so I would like to give thanks again to the team for helping me on this. So again, thank you for listening. So that's all. And once again, good morning.
Job well done, Sir Mario. Thank you so much, Sir Mario. We need to do it, sir, in a gradual manner because for me, I am not that fast in manipulating apps like this. But rest assured, I can. We can make, you can really make it. with the help of the experts, like our ICT, as what you have said, sir, and our co-teachers who are also experts in manipulating this matter. So once again, thank you, sir, and mabuhay. At this time, I turn you over to our district nurse, Ma'am Ruby I. Calzada, for the acknowledgement. Take it away, Ma'am Ruby. Okay, sige. So before the acknowledgement, we'll have first the open forum. I forgot. So anybody or someone to ask questions. So Sir Mario is willing to answer your queries or questions. So are there questions or queries? Yes or no? So if there's no questions, so we'll proceed to the acknowledgement. Hello, teachers. Are there any questions? Okay, so there are no questions being raised, so we'll now proceed to the acknowledgement. So, Ma'am Ruby, take it away, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am Sal. Our beautiful MC, our new master teacher in the district. Ma'am Sal, my dear Maring.
Welcome, ma'am. And I'm just trying my
Good morning
best.
once again, my dear teachers and all school administrators of both elementary and secondary of this of Mahayag South District. I would like to recognize a few personalities who made this possible. To our omnipotent and heavenly Father for the wisdom and knowledge. To our knowledgeable speakers, my dear friend Maring Miran Ruth Dorado Luren, and my dear inaanak, Sir Mario S. Baguod. Our ever motherly district supervisor, Ma'am Arceli B. Alonso, for giving us the go signal of this orientation. To Ma'am Susette Relacion, our district M&E coordinator. To our moderator, my dear friend Maring Selvia Aborca, who always say yes. Thank you so much to our technical working group, to Sir Mario Baguod, our district ICT coordinator, to Sir Randy Abonas, school ICT coordinator of San Jose National High School, and to Ma'am Claire Lagrosa, school ICT coordinator of DCM National High School, for sharing their time for the preparation and for today's orientation. Thank you for your expertise in the part of technology. To all school administrators and teachers of both elementary and secondary education, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for placing the highest priority on the health, safety, and well-being of all teachers, for the continuity of our academic programs. We each must play an important role, and always remember that we take these steps not solely for ourselves, but for the safety of the entire South Mahayag community. Once again, thank you so much for your precious time. To God be all the highest glory.
Okay, you are always welcome, Ma'am Ruby. So, thanks everyone for being with us from 9 a.m. until 10:41 a.m. So stay safe and healthy, and God bless us all. Bye!
Picture taking.
Okay, so we'll have the picture taking now. So by cluster, so we'll do it by cluster, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll start with cluster 1. So open your, turn on your camera now. Are we done? Cluster 1? Please answer. Cluster 1 teachers, are we done in the picture taking? Ma'am Girly, are you done there? Kindly take the picture, Ma'am Girly. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the virtual conference.
Okay, so ang mga pogi at mga magagandang guro ng Mahayag South District from Cluster 1. So, are we okay now, Cluster 1 teachers and administrators? Do we have to proceed now in Cluster 2? Yes or no? Walang nag-answer. Let's turn off our cameras and let's move on to Cluster 2.
Atin ko anak, ma'am.
So sorry, I forgot what are the schools for Cluster 2. So can you identify yourself? In which cluster are you part of?
Sinurisa ay kanang kuan po, cluster 2. Sa cluster 1 na siya.
Just give the freedom, but Ma'am Norisa, our turn is over. Kindly turn off your camera. Wow, so beautiful and handsome teachers from Cluster 2.
Lupa sa akong parinti ay makuto. Maya.
Okay, can I ask somebody to take that picture screen? I don't know where to print, where to click here.
Ayaw ipakita ang sanipa sa school day ha.
Who will be the one to take picture? Okay. Please do it, my dear teachers. Okay. Are we all done, teachers, from Cluster 2? Please answer also. I'm waiting for your answers. I love to see your faces, your smiling faces. Okay, let's now move on to Cluster 3. Cluster 3 teachers, it's your turn now. Hi. Okay, who will take the picture? Kindly do it, my dear teachers. Ma'am Islit is very good, taking really picture. Hi. Okay, and the last but not the least, cluster. The Cluster 4 teachers. Okay, we are all beautiful and healthy as of this time. So thank you, Lord. So who will be the one to take picture? Kindly do it by yourself if you know how to do it, because I forgot what to do here. Ang Suset, you are so beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what's the next, Suset?
May I remind the school MNE to post